What's up, everybody? This is Stevie J from AngryMarks.com. I'm coming to you live and direct from Chicago. That's right, I'm here for UFC on Fox. Some of you may have seen the video that I previously added to the vlog, which was me at the UFC on Fox press conference on Thursday. You can see me at about the 26-minute mark if you're watching that video. If you're watching this video, I'm getting ready to go over to the United Center in a couple of hours, but before I do that, I wanted to share some thoughts on Bellator 86 because I plan to recap that every week, but this week we had a very big Thursday night AMP that went over an hour. We had both Sugar Dunkerton and Arda Ocal on, so much props to both of them. So Alex Goff filled in since AMP ran over and he did the recap of Bellator. But I'm going to look at his recap here since I did watch the show after I got done with the show, because I watched the show after the show. That's a weird sense. I watched the Bellator show after I got done with my show because they had an immediate replay on Spike. So much props to them for that. And I want to give my brief thoughts on what I saw from looking at Alex's recap and comparing his thoughts to mine. Ben Saunders and Kofi Adzizu was kind of a boring fight, to be perfectly honest about it. It was just Saunders taking advantage of a pretty much outmatched opponent. He won every round 10-9, and he was on top a lot, but he wasn't able to get a submission or a finish. But, I mean, good for Ben Saunders. He gets a win, and he moves on in what I believe was a tournament fight. And if not, it was just a good showcase for the Killer Bee, but you would really hope for him to be a little more dynamic since he is such a well-known fighter for Bellator, one of the bigger names on their roster. Douglas Lima versus Mikhail Zarev. This one didn't go very long. It went 2 rounds, and Lima got the TKO win. He was pretty much dominating Zarev in this fight and working leg kicks and looked spectacular, which Douglas Lima usually does for Bellator. He wasn't a big name before their company, unlike Ben Saunders, but he's definitely made a name for himself in these Bellator fights, so good on him. Another quality win for Douglas Lima. King Mo made his Bellator debut against Przemysław, or as King Mo likes to call him, Coleslaw, and it was very much a one-sided affair. Przemysław knew he had nothing to lose, and he went out there throwing hands, but King Mo found the range, kept his distance, worked the jab, bloodied up his face, just totally one-sided ass-whipping here, which is exactly what they wanted. I mean, if we're all being honest about it, they set Przemysław up to make King Mo look good. They found an opponent King Mo could dispatch, and that's exactly what he did. And speaking of dispatch, anybody who's complaining about Ben Askren being a boring fighter needs to watch his bout with Karl Amasu, because this wasn't just, I'm going to wrestle and hold you down. Ben Askren has obviously been working on his game, because this time he started doing damage from the top whenever he would get Karl Amasu down, and Amasu was getting increasingly frustrated because he was getting cut up with elbows, his face was bloody, he couldn't breathe, his eyes were swelling shut. I mean, this was the most dominant destruction Ben Askren has had as the welterweight champion in Bellator. By the end of the 3rd round, it was a 10-8 round. I agree with Alex on that, but it ended up being academic because we never even got to the scorecards. The ref and the doctor and the corner and everybody else agreed there was no way for Karl Amasu to continue in the 4th round. He was just destroyed. So props to Ben Askren. People, you can stop saying he's boring now, because Ben Askren is the real deal, and he whipped the psycho Karl Amasu like I've never seen Karl Amasu get beat before. So that's going to do it for my thoughts on Bellator 86. Thanks again to Alex Goff. Thanks to everybody who's been watching my videos from Chicago this weekend, from the media workouts, from the interviews with Dana White, and all that jazz. I appreciate the support and the new subscribers, and I'll keep on bringing you coverage of live events I go to. This is Stevie J from AngryMarks.com, here this week for the Wrestling Observer newsletter. So, peace out. Thanks to Dave and Brian.